Today we're going to dive into a really powerful story about healing, faith, and a place called Siloam. It's this incredible journey from shadow into light, and it really makes you ask, what does it truly mean to see?
And this right here, this is really the heart of the whole thing. It speaks to those parts of us, the grief, the fear, the doubt, the stuff that feels like no ordinary solution can ever reach it. It's a promise of a healing that goes way deeper than the surface.
So every journey like this has to start somewhere, right? It starts in what you could call a world of shadow. And this isn't just about not being able to see with your eyes. It's about any part of life where you feel lost, completely in the dark, just searching for a light that seems impossibly far away. We often think of miracles or healings as these huge, dramatic, loud events, but this story, it suggests something totally different. It starts quietly. It starts with the most humble, basic materials, literally dust and clay, in an act of just letting go, a complete surrender to a process that makes absolutely no logical sense.
And that brings us to the very first action. It's not some grand announcement. It's a strange physical touch, a touch of clay. It's a puzzling first step, isn't it? But it's that very step that kicks this whole transformation into gear.
The actual encounter is so beautifully simple when you break it down. There's this man, Jesus. He does something kind of bizarre. He makes mud, some clay, and puts it on the man's eyes. And then he gives a very clear, direct command. Go and wash. That's it. That simple instruction is the spark for everything that's about to unfold.
And that one little instruction, go, that's the real turning point of the whole story. See, this healing isn't going to be a passive thing. It requires a journey, a walk to a place called Siloam. This physical walk is where ideas like faith and obedience stop being abstract concepts and become real, tangible actions.
So what does faith even look like in this moment? Well, it's the trust to just keep walking, even when you have no idea where you're going. It's believing in the promise of sight while you're still completely in the dark, with mud covering your eyes.
And faith, in this story, has a very practical partner, obedience. And it's not complicated or philosophical at all. It is simply doing what you were told. No debating, no second-guessing, just the direct action of going to that pool and washing.
So that walk, that act of faithful obedience, it all leads here, to the climax of the story, the horizon of light. This is that moment of revelation, the instant where the journey through all that darkness finally breaks into a brilliant, life-altering transformation.
What's so amazing is that when people later ask him, "Hey, what happened?" the man doesn't try to explain the miracle in some fancy way. He just tells his story. He just recounts the facts exactly as they happened, grounding this unbelievable event in his own simple, personal experience.
And after he explains the instruction, he delivers this incredibly powerful direct conclusion. So I went and washed, and I received sight. It's so clear. The cause and effect are just undeniable. The obedience led directly to the miracle. That's the powerful result of his whole journey.
And this really brings us to the ultimate takeaway, doesn't it? The power wasn't really in the clay, or even in the water of the pool. The power was in the spoken word, the instruction that set the entire thing in motion. And when that word is followed, the impossible happens. Even a blind horizon, it just bursts into light.
So in the end, the story of Siloam isn't just some ancient account. It's like a mirror for our own lives. It kind of leaves us with a question, right? Where's our blind horizon? What part of our life is just waiting for a word and for our own journey of faith and obedience to finally begin?